One of the new adventurers added in Roads to Power is Hassan-i-Sabbah, a Persian man that historically went on to found the secretive Nizari order of the Assassins. With him, however, we can not only do that, but also actually take any empire in Crusader Kings III and completely destroy it in one simple action. How? Let's find out. And this, folks, is exactly where we start here, as this unhinged man, Master Hassan-Sabbah, he lived a legendary life in reality, and you can make it even much more insane in CK3. Because, like I mentioned, you can destroy one of the empires that are on the map, and it can literally be any empire. Now, historically, of course, he was an enemy of the Seljuks, he was not very friendly with them, but hey, you can also create, or destroy, I should say, the Byzantine Empire or the Holy Roman one. And this one is the one that I would like to take out back today. Now, I will tell you that this character is not exactly hard to play. It is hard to play only because the game doesn't really tell you just how his mechanics work. Very similar to how things are with Hereward. Make sure to check out the explanation video there. I will link it in the top comment as well. But all you need to know is this isn't as complex. It's just that the game doesn't communicate what does what and why it happens the way it does at all. In this video, we're going to just play as this guy, and then I will explain to you what happens and what the game expects from you and how exactly the different phases of gameplay work. Anyway, this guy, you got plenty of time with him, because when he starts here in 1066, he is only 16 years old. He has an amazing trait, amazing stats, an amazing personality, and of course he got all that special content. So, with that being said, hey, you don't really have to consider too many things. I will just give you one tip right now before we even jump in, and this is something I also need to keep in mind. Piety is piety is piety. The only thing that you genuinely and truly care about is maxing out your piety, because the principal decision that you will utilize for every piece of content here, yeah, it's always tied to piety right there. But alright, first things first. With this character, obviously we're going to do sagacity. This is an amazing focus for us here, because it shortens our scheme phase length, which means we can fulfill contracts much faster. And it also lets us then go into theologian right here. Pilgrimage cost goes down. This is an amazing travel option that means that you can get piety just from traveling. You're not even doing anything else. Other than that, you can also be gaining massive piety boosts if you visit temple holdings as well as religious points of interest, meaning right here you can spam out a ton of piety. So that means the faster we get to these traits, the better will it be for us, because then I can spam more and more piety. And that directly also is something that works together with the scholar type of camp. Let's take a look at this. The reference corpus is really good, because it means that if you build a barber's tent and then this domicile improvement, you make more monthly lifestyle experience, which is exactly what you need. Not just that, but also it makes scheme phases here for learning schemes, so our contracts much faster. There are several other good ones here as well. I like Loyal Scribes, for example, gives you learning contract rewards. However, what you probably want to focus on is actually this one. Drifting Ascetics makes it so that you have a lower cost for hiring the Holy Order, your domicile piety goes up just by default, and then you get another plus 25% of monthly lifestyle experience. I will tell you, I personally would always prioritize first the barber's tent, then you go with the reference corpus, then after that you go with the baggage train for drifting ascetics, and then there is one more good one, really good one, and that is nightly debates right here at the Roaring Campfire, where you can shorten learning schemes even more. So that is essentially what we want to go for with our perks and of course with our camp itself. Now on top of that, as soon as you unpause, you will also be seeing this event. Ismaili preaches. Amira, a believer and follower of the Egyptian Caliph, has been preaching his unorthodox take on Islam in the heart of Rai. I have no doubt in the truth of Islam and Allah, and never before have I doubted that such truth can be found anywhere other than Imamism, but Amira's words ring differently in my ear. I spent much of the remains of the day discussing holy books and hadith with Amira, and I hear the truth in Ismaili philosophy for the first time. So we are, and this is where he started out historically as well as I understand it, he was a preacher, he was a strong believer, we are Imami. Imamism is 12er Shia Islam, which means, there you go, Imamis believe that 12 Imams were prophesied to lead the Ummah, and that the 12th Imam, Imam Zaman, is waiting to return to lead Muslims into the Day of Judgment. Now we meet a guy that isn't really accustomed to this more Persian style of Islam and Shia Islam, but rather comes from the Fatimids. They are Ismaili, a Shia faith that considers the line of true Imams, those imbued with divine knowledge and infallibility, to run through Ismail ibn Jafar. They are also known as Seveners, as Ismail was the 7th Imam after Muhammad. What we are actually going to turn into is neither of those things. Historically speaking, he sympathized and even turned towards the Egyptian style of Shia Islam, but ultimately what he committed to was this man right here, Prince Abu Mansur al-Nizari Nizar ibn al-Mustanzir. This man already is Nizari and, well, a rationalist faith that emphasizes reasoning and interpretation of the Quran and Hadiths. Being Imam is hereditary, and they trace the line of succession to Ali. This is the man that our friend Master Hassan here saw as the rightful and proper Caliph of the Ummah. But he was actually not made the rightful Caliph. You can see right here, since he has a different faith and this is a head of faith title in terms of inheritance, Egypt will be going to Prince Al-Majid ibn al-Mustanzir, meaning that he, well, is mistreated and he is the rightful Caliph and we want to see him on top of the game, and that is why ultimately we turn into a Nizari. Now for the time being, as you get this event, we only turn Ismaili. This opens up the first phase of the content, and with this content you should be checking the first option right here. This means Amir Zarab joins the squad, becomes the second, his aptitude is good, we turn to Ismailism, and of course then we get access to the Evangelize the Faith decision. This option advances you on the path of the assassins as well. It's a super vague statement because that's exactly what it is. All this really means is this is how historically you will get to the belief of, well, our Hassan here. And our Hassan is the founder of the assassins in Alamut. Ah, there it is, Masyaf. Yeah. Okay, so that is where we would probably then be founding this. Anyway, I'm going to take the first option right here. Now you gotta know, I'm not really going to interact with this right away, but after you pick this up, you can evangelize the faith, and the way this decision works is that, and actually we can do it once, I guess, if you are in a county that either fulfills these requirements, so, well, this means they are not your religion and you haven't tried to convert them already, or any of the neighboring counties fulfill these requirements, you can try and preach your faith. If you click this button, brings you to this event. The people have gathered around me in the heart of Rai, their eyes dim in the absence of Allah's light. Quran passages memorized, I begin to speak. This acts as a check. We take a look at this and we say, hey, if I succeed, the county that I selected will convert. If I fail, well, yeah, then they get resistance towards conversion and I can't try again. This is actually pretty interesting and really, really important, because what you need to understand is that it doesn't tell you how often you've done this already, but if you succeed 5 times in converting a county, you enter phase 2 of the content of our Hassan here. If you convert 15, you enter the last phase, the third phase, where, well, you get the option to destroy an empire. So keep track of this. That is how it works. After 5 successful conversions, second phase. After 15 total, third phase. Now in this case, I actually succeeded. Rai has turned and they are now Ismaili. That is unfortunate for the Seljuk Caliph. I will also tell you that right now there is a bug. I checked the actual script and this is definitely not intended. They made a mistake. Fundamentally, you are protected from being exiled. They don't want Master Hassan to be kicked out. Yes, he's hostile. Yes, he's of the wrong faith. Yes, he converts counties, and the AI doesn't like this. But since this is story content, they try to make it so that you can't be exiled. Now, be aware, if you're in an empire and you're turning their provinces like crazy so that you can actually dissolve the empire, well, the way it will work is that you can be exiled. This can happen to you and you can't do anything about it. I assume that on a later patch they're gonna fix this, but for the time being it is clearly bugged, and I can really only pray for myself here that I don't get kicked out in this video, as I will try to, well, destroy the Holy Roman Empire. But anyway, what I would advise you to do is to not really care initially about, you know, really taking this decision all too often. You got time, you're 16 years old, things are completely fine. I'm just going to go and do some missions right here. Now these missions fundamentally, they don't offer you any piety, at least not much piety, but by doing this mission you will after all actually gain more and more piety, because, well, that is just how the option really works. Let's scout for some talent as well and let's get on our way there. I want to become rich. Yeah, and you can see right here it is relatively easy. I say relatively, but it is relatively easy to do these missions because, well, Master Hassan here is excellent at learning and he's just incredibly skilled there. In this case we did not succeed, but we already have a qualified success secured anyway. And I hope that I succeed in this one. There you go. So we reached +6. Sadly, we didn't get a proper success, but even still, well, you know, this gives me a lot of money right here. Yeah, as you do these missions, you will notice that, well, they're not all the same. Transcribing text, for example. It's kind of hit or miss, but ultimately, you will just make more money, you will make more piety, and of course, with that money, you will also be able to just secure more piety. You know how it works. Yeah, and look at that, just from doing these contracts you can also gather piety, although of course this isn't really the big part, right? The piety comes from the perks, from all the stuff that we unlock from pilgrimages and so on, but hey, money is money is money. Alright, and I think now I will already move a little bit. I'm just gonna make sure here, right? Because what I want to really take care of is, yeah, I will eventually do a full round journey here, right, with these 3 holy sites. That's 750 piety for basically nothing, so I don't really want to touch them right now. We could also go all the way to India, but I don't think we're gonna bother. Historically, I'm pretty sure he actually did go to Isfahan, right, so further in the south here. We will go there eventually because, well, this is of course also a religious place. We could already go there just to pick up the bonus for learning experience, but I think we'll be okay. I got enough time. We are, after all, only 16 years old. See, and now these are actually my favorite missions here. Create a work of learning. This one is really, really good. You're gonna see this in a second. Just keep track of your resources as we go there. Alright, so in this case, I hum as I look around Bayatzi's study. Plenty of scripts, manuscripts, and short stories are gathered here in neat stacks and lined up on the shelves. A piece of work isn't necessarily judged by its length, surely. Even the mention of a single word can invoke complex emotions. But first things first, what size of work do I have in me? I will create an exhaustive piece. It will be amazing, everybody will love it, and they will honor me. I peer down at the blank page in front of me. Words. Why is it always so difficult to start? Now, I'll be honest with you, I will almost always go with learning because that is what I'm great at, but you can see our statistics here in general are just really, really good. Now in this case, we're just going to go with this because I want to lock down this contract. We get piety every time we succeed, and of course the contract itself will also get better. Yeah, take a look at that. We just keep spamming out piety. Thanks to this contract, I will basically always lean into learning. Look at that, we already had 526. This is the best contract type in my opinion that you can get, because hey, even if it doesn't always work out, you will get a ton of piety, and well, at the end we come out of here with just 700 piety already. Oh wow, and I actually got even luckier here. We now get a statue in a random event for monthly lifestyle learning experience. That is insane. I've only built one improvement now that really ups this, but you can see that we are earning much, much faster than we ought to. Reference corpus, of course. Here we got water rituals because we're Persian. We got beacon of learning, also Persian. Yeah, this is pretty insane with how fast we can actually earn these traits. I think this is also one of the characters maybe where you can just get the achievement if you don't already have it, where you fulfill all 3 trees in one particular perk, because yeah, he'll just really knock them down. And that now brings us to this perk right here as well. Visiting churches is going to make it so that we will net ourselves a crazy amount of piety. You can really min-max this, right, if you visit temple holdings very frequently, but I'm not really going to do this. I will just be visiting religious points of interest consciously, and any temple holding I also visit, well, that's lucky. And yeah, just look at how fast these schemes go now, and I haven't even built everything that I need to build. Speaking of which, this baggage train is what I will upgrade next. Let me just double check this. I mean, I do like the portable shrine because we can buff that with a perk as well, of course. But what I really care about is this one right here, Drifting Aesthetics. I can already build it. That's amazing. Alright, let's up our learning experience. Right, and now we're just going to go all the way up here and make sure that we definitely walk through these right there. Yeah, and now, like I said, once we have this perk, this will immediately become so much more beneficial. Take a look at this. We get learning lifestyle experience, we get piety. I'm going to check this one out, then that one, and then we start rotating southwards so that we can slowly but surely make our way towards Egypt. Yoink, don't mind if I do. And just look at that, it takes us slightly longer than 1 year to collect a single perk point. Things are now so fast, it's really insane. You now gain 0.4 per month for every follower as well, or Radiant right here. All of these are just incredibly good. I'm going to pick this one up, then I think we're going to go for Wandering Missionary, but I did now already unlock this travel option as well. Seriously, the snowballing with this guy is insane, and I haven't even started converting anything. Alright, and now this is actually a really interesting event, because I didn't take it slow last time I played this. I was very quick about getting into the second phase. So normally you enter the second phase, where you go to Egypt if you convert 5 provinces. In this case, I'm just stacking piety, so I didn't do any of that yet. And, well, you can be pushed into the second phase, where you turn into your true religion, if indeed the old Caliph dies. And you can see right here, he died. Yeah, Caliph al-Mustanzir is dead, and his primary son, Abu Mansur al-Nizar ibn al-Mustanzir, has been exiled. And in this case, we can actually make him join us. Historically, that didn't happen. Historically, he did go to Egypt, our character, but I don't even have to do that. Caliph al-Mustanzir of the Shia Caliphate has at least been united with Allah and is at peace, but those of us left behind must confront the burden of his absence. Through political maneuvering and forces beyond comprehension, Caliph al-Majid of the Shia Caliphate has succeeded him, and Nizari claims have been ignored. This is the guy that historically also succeeded, and this is the guy that got ignored historically. I know for certain that Abu Mansur al-Nizar was the preferred candidate, but I make my allegiance known. I shall surely make an enemy of myself. I will turn him into a friend, he will join my camp, and this leads us further down the path of the assassins. So this is now phase 2. In phase 2, you still need to get a total of 15 mass conversions, and then you can take down an empire. Exactly how that goes we're going to see in just a bit. He has been banished, and, well, we are now going to turn into a believer in him, right? Because our difference here, other than some, of course, the jurisdiction, the actual idea of what is justice, what is belief, and so on, the base idea is that we think he should be the caliph rather than the other guy. So in this case, I will simply take Nizar in, he becomes our friend, and I guess I technically have to travel there. I don't think I need to do that right now, though. I don't think I actually have to do that. I think that is completely okay. We're gonna ignore that because I'm doing this mission anyway. We don't have to travel anywhere right now. It's just a suggestion because normally it would try to have you travel all the way to Egypt. In this case, that was just not necessary. This makes it so that we can convert people. We get more piety per night. We can create faiths and so on. Not that we're going to do this, but these are all great traits. And just look at these folks, we are converting so many people. We are getting 50 piety per person converted. Ah, this is so overpowered. Alright, and I think before we really start off here, before we move towards the last phase, and we already are now sitting at 4,000 piety, almost anyway, I'm going to go on a bit of a pilgrimage and we're going to maximize our Hajj experience right here. Because I will deviate our path to such a way that I make an infinite amount of piety right here, and of course we are going to go with one of the more costly options. Actually, let's go with humble. If you can't afford throng, then I would not recommend ceremonial. Instead, you should just go humble, also giving you quite a lot of piety. On top of that, yeah, pilgrim is fine. I want to be zealous. And now, let's make sure that on our way there, I take every last important location with me. There you go. I would also actually like it if I could get Medina here. There you go. That's beautiful. You love to see it. And then afterwards, on the way back, why don't we check things out over here? That way we also cross through Isfahan, and we're going to collect so much piety on this journey. But anyway, we have now finally arrived right here, and of course I will fully commit to everything. If you do everything that you can do in Mecca, you're going to come out of this with an unbelievable amount, of course, of piety as well. You can see right here we're already at level 2, and I'm pretty sure that we can make it to level 4 if I, sacrifice 63 camels. Boom! All of a sudden, we are going to make so much piety. We have reached 6,411, and that doesn't even count making our way back. We're getting now a massive boost, of course, as well here in terms of income. This is just insane. I feel like this is one of those characters different from Hereward. It is so fundamentally easy to succeed. Yeah, you'll have trouble failing. And there you go. We arrive at home with 7,604 piety. Life is unhinged. Just absolutely incredible income here. Now what you want to do now at this point is, once you have this piety, right, you want to decide which empire do you want to take apart. And for me it's the Old Empire. Like I said, the Seljuks are more typical. The Byzantine Empire is also incredibly easy, or rather incredibly interesting to take down. But let's be real here, the HRE must fall, and, well, I think I can get that done. First things first, let's make our way to the coastline, or, well, at the very least, close to the coastline. Could I change this goal so we run out of food right here? I'm going to make my way, in that case, all the way over there. That should already be good enough. Now keep in mind, of course, as you travel, you will convert more and more people to Nizarism as well, giving you more and more piety yet. It's an unhinged playstyle. Now the sad thing here is, despite us being incredibly legendary, our contracts are tied to our prestige, meaning we're still only getting level 1 contracts. It's really stupid, but there's nothing you can do. So, you know what, you gotta take it as it comes. Look at all these people, just, unlucky. Now, I could, like I said, already evangelize the faith here just to build up the 15. We need to get to 15, but let me tell you something right now. It will be beneficial for you if you convert, or really mass convert, the people in the realm that you then also actually want to destroy. Because the more provinces in that realm follow Nizarism, or whatever your religion is, the more troops will you get when you take the decision to take down that realm. So from that point of view, make sure that you just gather all the influence, all the power that you can, so that you can then quickly mass convert to wherever you want to be. Now anyway, why don't we quickly visit Jerusalem? That should be very beneficial for us as well. I even like to go to St. Catherine down there. What about Cyprus? I mean, my god, Greece is looking so good. I think I gotta go there just to pick up those additional amounts of piety here. Not that I actually need it, but It's just nice, you know? It's just nice to have infinite resources without any challenge whatsoever. And oh wow, look at that. We have visited the River Jordan and we get a special event for that. That's pretty cool. Men speak only of the wondrousness of Palestine, a land of great Islamic triumphs, watered by the noble River Jordan. I wade into that river now, seeking to begin my ablutions. Nearly in sight of the resting places of the Prophet's companions, peace be upon them, this place is ideal for my observance of the Hadiths. There you go, are collectings of sayings and actions attributed to the Prophet Muhammad, a major source of guidance for most Muslim sects. And, though there are some slimy plants underfoot, milky froth carried by muddy currents, this is fit to be one of the 4 rivers of paradise. Never have I felt so clean. I will be getting some minor health penalty right here. However, this right there, once you actually settle, getting the legitimacy gain and getting piety, oh, that's good. I will definitely pick up that water from the River Jordan. Alright, and you know what? We're not even going to go to Egypt. That is fine. I want to go first maybe to Cyprus, and then I think we're going to check out every single religious building that I can, starting in Athens here, just because there should be, well, a great amount of piety in that. I'm just spamming piety at this point. I don't even think it's necessary, like, to any degree. And in this case, we probably will want to hire... yeah, an experienced captain. Look at that. We don't really need to convert anybody. That is okay. No, actually, no, I'm going to turn that around. I like converting people more than recruiting people now, I think. We don't have any contracts here, which is quite odd. I got a sponsor. I mean, I would have really liked one that is a transport contract, just so that I can travel around a bit, because I want to take all of these holy sites without actually bringing my camp. You know how it is, right? If it's not necessary, then, well, it's just not necessary. Let me make sure here that in this one journey, I take all of these holy sites. This is going to be so dangerous, but I think it's also like the funniest thing I could have done. There you go. Oh, there's actually one more. My god. That is crazy. That is... poof. Jesus Christ. You know, I only realized this now, but like, the Caliph is gone. Where did he go? Oh, he actually went back to Egypt. He was, I guess he inherited a title and, well, off he goes. Good for him. Not my issue. Sadly, I'm not making any money here, which is very bad. So, how exactly does this work? Technically, I could be doing contracts here, sure, but I'm not really interested in that, right? I will be moving my camp, and I should have done that right away, over here to Castrogiovanni. The reason for this is that it borders all locations in Sicily, and once I am there, I can actually make it so that I can just press this button repeatedly. So like I said, this button checks for the province that you are in and the neighboring provinces, none of which have our religion and in none of which I have tried this. So let's hold the sermon right here. It costs us 250 in piety. You can see our possible outcomes here are insane because our diplomacy and learning is insane. And now, if the crowd is won over, the entire province simply turns to Nizari. And every month, I can press that button again. And every month, I will press that button again. All of a sudden, 2 counties already converted. Now, normally, I would advise that you really only do this in the empire that you want to take over because it will cost you 250 piety, which means 4 provinces for 1000 piety. But I think I can be a bit more aggressive here, seeing how, well, I have basically infinite piety going forward. Now, what you can see right here is that no other adjacent county really fulfills the requirements here. So this means this one and this one. Actually, this one didn't fail. I'm not sure why I can't convert this one, but it doesn't seem as though I can actually convert it. Anyway, oh, and now I see it. I can't do it because it's actually too high developed. That is so unfortunate. So Rome in particular is basically off limits. Well, I mean, I guess that settles it. Let's go towards Bavaria, where the low-income people live that surely I can convert very, very easily. Alright, and there you go. Now it is just a question of me pressing this button again and again and again, and once I have done it here so that it is exhausted for this region, well, all that will happen is that I will move on. I will convert as much as I can. You can see right here, Coptic, Nizari, nonsense is spreading left and right. I've left these 2 Nizari, not too strong in impact, I will admit, but, well, as much as I want to convert more, you kind of just have to move on if it fails. You can't really do much about that. And there you go. Once you have taken this action 15 times, like I told you, this is the event that fires. This is the last phase. It is phase 3, and here is where things really go crazy. The enemy of Nizarism. As I complete my sermon, I look out across the crowd of enlightened faces staring back at me. My mind turns to their master, Kuno, the one who led them away from Allah to begin with. While he enjoys a decadent life, his subjects clamor in the dirt, obscured from the truth of the Almighty. I feel I can stomach this no longer, and I wish only to see his people become free of him, united in Nizari philosophy. So you, to get this event, must have done it 15 times, then you click this decision again, and after 3 months of clicking this decision, if you are in an empire title, in this case the HRE, you get the decision to turn the HRE into your ultimate enemy, which lets you agitate the local populace. This makes it so that the popular opinion drops, I think, by 25. Found the assassins is something you can also do here, and then begin the revolution. He becomes our nemesis. and I will not stop converting. Now, let's click this button here. I don't think I will lean too heavily into this. I don't think it matters, like, at all. But basically, it also gives you a challenge, and if you succeed, for Regensburg, there you go, agitated population, -25, it's just, all in all, it doesn't matter. If they have a different religion, then it does matter, but right now, yeah, for us, this is just largely irrelevant. To found the assassins, we have to be in a Nizari location that is mountains. So that means, I think I'm going to go to Bohemia to found the assassins in Krumlov. Actually, that is an empty location. I think it needs to have a city, right? Oh, all it doesn't need to be is a county capital. Okay, I getcha. So that means we can go into the Vogtland, and I can do it right here in Rehau and attempt to convert the people there and then turn them into assassins subsequently. Oh, it is so funny. I love this. Now, the important part, and I already teased this, but let's go over it again. If you want to begin the revolution, you will get more and more troops the more counties of the Emperor's realm have actually turned to Nizarism. Which means I want to go on and actually do this so that I can spawn a ton of troops and then start the war here with the Assassin Dissolution Casus Belli. Just be swift, because you don't want to get deported. That can happen. They can exile you. Again, it's a bug, but just so you're aware, you can't do anything against it. So it is what it is. Alright, let's move to Prague and try to tell them about this amazing new religion that we got. Doodleby, did it work out? It did work out. Beautiful. How are we doing it? Show me the map a little bit. Look at that. Nizarism is spreading. It's so funny. Oh, and now we have actually converted the Vogtland to Nizarism, which means right here I can found the assassins. Blasphemous and heretics plague the land, and it has become clear that words alone will not assuage them. The time has come to escalate this theological conflict into a military one, and the enemy of the faithful will face the blade-founded holy order. Your intrigue increases by 2. You gain the nickname the Old Man of the Mountain, further increases by 10. Holding of Keb gains the Hashashin Fortress special building. Perched atop a lofty crag, this castle has long served as a remote mountain redoubt. It has now been rebuilt into a formidable Fedayeen fortress, housing libraries, laboratories, and tranquil gardens among the imposing fortifications. To some, it is a place of bloodshed and war. To others, a place of spiritual repose, or perhaps both. Look at that. This is a beautiful Bismillah. This is so good. Now, this actually has been leased out to Grandmaster Shahab of the Hashashins, but I'm pretty sure that they can just oust him. Like, they just do that. They will just throw him out, which is, to be honest, fair enough, but we have founded them. Now, we can actually, and I'm not sure that I can see them right here. I thought we could even upgrade them. Maybe that decision is just currently not there for me yet, but hey, we'll see, okay? Either way, we have founded the assassins. Things are good. If I were to start a revolution right now, you can see the troops right here. You can get massive numbers. Just keep converting. Oh, there's the decision. See, it took some time. Markgraf Otto leases the barony of Keb out. Did he revoke it? Oh, he already revoked it. See, so this doesn't work if the holders of the location are hostile. I founded the assassins and he immediately revoked it. That's so funny. I can make him hand it over again, I guess, but yeah, okay, clearly this doesn't do much for us yet, right? I'm just here converting. That is all I'm doing. And while we're here, let's go further west towards where the actual emperor is. That is ultimately what we care about here. And look at that, I have learned German, which means that I will have a great time living here, I'm sure. Let's take a look at this. Yeah, I converted a lot of stuff right there. Nizari is everywhere in the HRE. Oh, it's so... That's rich. That's that's so good. See, you have to admit, this is looking pretty good. It's so silly. I'm a big fan. Now, what you can do on top of this is, of course, now that they have a different religion, the popular opinion is completely in the gutter, meaning that they will face a lot of resistance, at least potentially. Not that it really means all that much to me, right? All things considered, I'm just here to teach them a bit of a lesson and to, well, ultimately dissolve the entire realm. So, yeah, who exactly I convert and how exactly that goes just doesn't really play a big role for us here. Oh, to convert Aachen, I have to agitate the local population. I get it. Okay. Crowd is won over, and now I can evangelize. Ah, so that is how you want to be using those decisions. I thought it was basically separately just so that you could, I don't know, maybe create a bit of unrest. I gotta be honest, I didn't really read this all too carefully because, hey, if it doesn't work, I normally just move on, but all of a sudden, it looks as though we're looking at Nizari Aachen. Beautiful. Alright, folks, I have gone around, I've recruited some soldiers here for ourselves as well so that I can at least siege very easily. And I think now is the time, once I come home. 3,800 min, that is per stack, we come up to a pretty nice sum right here. Now, he has plenty of troops as well, don't get me wrong here. I can only hope that I can catch them early. That is really the only thing that hopefully will keep us going here. I also did get some knights. I leased them out from the locals, so now we have German knights fight on my side. It's so good. Oh, and we completely wiped them just then. That is gorgeous. I'm actually gonna take that damage for sure. That's fine. Every wipe I get is massive. Oh, and apparently Crusader Kings has been called. I mean, it is 1095. That is about the right moment here. Interesting. Well, I mean, there is a lot going on here. It's just that the Pope doesn't know what's actually at stake. And here we got the big battle. They walked into Aachen. Ooh, and the Danes did not even care. They didn't go to actually do anything about it. And now they're gonna be cooked, yeah. Once we've defeated them here, I really can only hope that we actually capture him, but things are looking dire for him. I'm just gonna have him keep coming back to us. I think that is really the only way that I can do here. Things are looking good. What is happening here? Why are these troops not in the... What? They're not in the fight. I'm losing for no reason. What is this? Oh, okay. Now I'm in the fight. That was real weird. I don't know what to say. I don't know. Very odd. And I defeated him again. Oh my god! This was way too close. All the battles really did it for us. I did capture the heir, apparently. Oh, there he is. The brother, I suppose. Anyway, this is it. The Holy Roman Empire is destroyed, and Kaiser Konrad III's vassals become independent. Ooh, that's a long list. Oh, that's a long list. The Old Man of the Mountain. At last, the worthless Count Konrad of Aachen's empire has been sent back to Yharnam, where it belongs. In the ashes of the empire, my followers look to me for our future, and the future of Nizarism. In the chaos of Konrad's absence, County of Parsberg is ripe for the taking, and may yet serve as a hub for any future endeavors we may have in the region. Interesting. Is that because, is that like, because it's like Vogtland as well? But I don't even get Vogtland here, which is where the castle is, right? They even have a model, oh my god, and it looks so bad, because it's not in the right location. Okay, wait a minute. I could continue my eternal battle right here. I'm not sure, I think I just want to pick this one up, right? You create a new kingdom, clan government, Eichstätt, Leuchtenberg, Parsberg, Hohenberg, Nordgau. Summoners of the Faith is destroyed, and I become a king. I like that. That is so good. I might actually continue that. You know what, actually, for starters, I mean, they all surely hate me around me here, right? Would they band together? Oh my god, they still have so many troops. I'm gonna keep things the way they are. I'm not sure that I will ever look at this again, but look at that. I have dissolved the HRE. Now what I didn't, there it is. I did get the achievement, the Old Man of the Mountain. Somebody said it didn't trigger, but it can trigger. You see it right here. This is how it's done. This is one of the most lunatic playthroughs you can do, and I don't think you're gonna do it again. But, well, you can choose, and I chose HRE. They're done now. I hope that you enjoyed this, that you learned how to do it, and... What does this guy want from me? Right, I hired him. You can have the money, that's okay. I will leave you right here. Tell me what you think about my beautiful castle. I'll see you later, alligator. Bye-bye.